Angel. Today I've got a special recipe for you. We're going to be making Taiwanese oyster vermicelli noodles, which are a famous Taiwanese night market snack. In Taiwanese, we call this "aw mi suan," and in Mandarin, we call this Taiwan he zai mian xian. And the two main ingredients are, you guessed it, oysters and Chinese vermicelli noodles. It's super delicious, and I can't wait to show you guys how to make this recipe at home. But first, I just want to say, if you guys like Taiwanese recipes and you want to check out my Taiwanese recipe playlist, I will leave a link in the video description. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Angel Wong's Kitchen, and hit that notifications button so that you guys get notified when my next video comes out. And with that, let's get started, shall we? For the ingredients, we are going to need a jar full of oysters. I went ahead and got a jar full of extra small oysters, and for some reason, these oysters turned out to be extra large. So we'll have to use these for today, but if you can, find smaller oysters because that'll look better when you serve this in your dish. We will also need some sweet potato flour. Now the sweet potato flour that I got is coarse textured, but you can also use kind of a fine textured sweet potato flour. We will also need some bonito flakes. And if you've never used bonito flakes before, they're actually these dried fish flakes from a Japanese fish called bonito. And they're super savory and salty, and that's gonna give us more depth in the soup. We will also need 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, along with that half a cup of water to mix that together. We'll also need 2 tablespoons of dried shallots, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper, a splash of black vinegar, which is optional, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 8 cups of chicken broth, some cilantro for garnish. We'll also need some Chinese vermicelli noodles, and these are red colored noodles, and if you can't find these, you can also use thin white noodles. Those will also work, and a bit of minced garlic for garnish. The first thing we'll want to do is prep the oysters. So I have my bowl of oysters here, and I'm going to coat them in some sweet potato flour. The sweet potato flour is actually going to protect the oysters from shrinking when we boil them, which will keep them nice and plump. So I'm just going to take my oysters and put them on the plate. Then I'm going to sprinkle some sweet potato flour over it, and then give that another toss. And now I'm going to bring a pot of water to boil, and we're going to boil the oysters for 1 to 2 minutes. Now I'm going to boil the oysters in a pot for about 1 minute. And then after the oysters are done boiling, I'm going to scoop them out, and we're going to put them in a bowl of cool water. Now we're just going to do this and let the oysters sit in here while we prepare our other ingredients so that way they don't stick together. So I'm just going to put the oysters in a pot of boiling water for 1 minute. Just give it a quick stir so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot. Now we're going to make the soup stock. We're going to be measuring out 8 cups of chicken broth, and then we're going to also need 1 cup of bonito flakes. Now these bonito flakes are actually dried fish flakes, and if you've never used them before, they're dried shavings of bonito, which is a type of tuna. In the soup, the bonito flakes are going to give us more savory, salty depth to the soup, and it's going to be very delicious. And 4 more cups here. So we don't have to wait till the chicken broth comes to a boil. I'm just going to put half of the bonito flakes in there. So half a cup of the bonito flakes are just going to go into the soup. And we're going to let that boil for 5 minutes. After it boils for 5 minutes, we're going to remove the bonito flakes and then add our remaining bonito flakes. I'm now going to remove the cooked bonito flakes. After straining out the bonito flakes, we're going to add the remaining flakes in there along with the noodles and the other ingredients. Then the noodles. Now I'm going to add the other ingredients for the soup. There's the dried shallots, some white pepper, the sugar, and the soy sauce. Give that a quick stir, and we're gonna let that boil and cook for 3 to 5 minutes or until the noodles are done. While the noodles are boiling, I'm going to thicken the sauce with a thickener. So I've got 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and I'm gonna add that to my water. Make sure you give that a good stir so it's fully mixed. Give that a good stir so the soup thickens a bit. Now I'm just gonna put the noodles into a small bowl. Get a little bit of the soup as well. And finally, we're gonna add our oysters, or in this case, 1 oyster. To finish off this dish, I'm going to add a splash of black vinegar, totally optional, but highly recommend. We're also gonna add some cilantro, some minced garlic, and if you like to give it a little extra kick, some chili oil. I'm gonna start with a splash of black vinegar. Some minced garlic. I love garlic. And to top it off with some cilantro. And a little bit of chili oil. And we're done. So that's how you make Taiwanese oyster vermicelli noodles, or au maison. It smells and looks super delicious. Other popular toppings include shrimp and maybe some pork intestine. I know it sounds totally weird, but I assure you it's really delicious. And since I have my chopsticks out here, let's go ahead and do the taste test. Let's get some noodles. I should have gotten a napkin. So that was really savory. There's the flavors of the dried bonito fish flakes and just a really, really good savory soup. So now I'm gonna try a bite of the oysters, and this is why it's always good to get the extra small oysters. But I'll just take a bite here for now. If you guys are oyster fans, this is definitely a great dish to get your oyster fix and your noodle fix as well. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's video. And if you've been to Taiwan before and you like Taiwanese street food, post in the comments below and let me know what's your favorite Taiwanese street food. And if you're hungry for more and you want to see my Taiwanese street food playlist, I'll leave a link in the video description. I'm Angel, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.